Hey everyone, welcome to Arsenal Fan TV. This is the review of our game against West Bromwich Albion on the final day of the season, beating them by 4-1. Really great to get a convincing result against West Brom, considering that in recent weeks the games against Swansea, the game against United, the game against Sunderland have all been very tedious and frustrating from Arsenal. We saw the team freshened up. We saw Wilshere start on the right hand side. We saw Coughlin brought it back into the frame of things. We saw Theo Walcott start up top. I'll get onto him a little bit later, but he was absolutely magnificent in this game. And we saw Gabriel start at a hard defence alongside Per Mertesacker. All round very good to see the team freshened up, a couple of new faces introduced to the side, and it does give me a lot of confidence going into the FA Cup final, knowing that Wenger really has to rack his brains a little bit, thinking, who does he pick for this starting 11? There are so many good talents on offer now, and I certainly feel very confident going into that game. And with Villa losing at Villa Park to Burnley, certainly the odds are stacked in our favour if they weren't already, which I'm presuming they were. But anyway, it was a really great performance from Arsenal. I mean, it's good to have such a convincing win heading into such a big game for us, especially after what have been some absolutely frustrating results. And I mean, getting into the game, we started with such high intensity and we got that goal very early on through Theo Walcott. It was great to see us start with such high pressure, such dominance. And in other games, against Sunderland, against Swansea, I'll pick out those two games most notably because we have started the games intensely, but we just haven't taken the chances when they came to us. We haven't had someone to put them in the back of the net. Theo Walcott took the chance when it came to him. It was a nice little layoff by Santi Cazorla. Walcott picking it up on the edge of the box and watching this goal back on TV. Absolutely magnificent goal. Placing it past my hill, completely out of reach. Inside the far post. Absolutely beautiful goal by Walcott. There were so many good goals on display in this game. It really was a good performance. It reminded me of that game last season when we played Norwich and beat them. I think it was by a similar scoreline at the Emirates. That was a great game, and this really emulated that performance in so many ways. But I was really happy for Walcott because to get a goal so early on in the game, considering what he's been through, considering it's taken him so long to get into the team, he took his opportunity up front. Where initially I was sceptical to see him play, but it really does make me wonder whether he's got to earn a place in the starting lineup in the final. Surely he's got to warrant a place where he missed out last season. It'd be great to see him start the final, especially if he's going to put in the kind of performance that he did in this game. It was just overall really great to see him getting back into the frame of things, and the celebration just really showed his commitment to the club really. So it'd be great if he could sign a new contract, which I'm really hoping he will. We got our second goal not too long on from that, again at Theo Walcott. It was kind of an assist from Ozil, I guess you could say, but it was really a cluster of legs. Walcott picks on the ball, takes it around his man and places it past Myhill. A very tidy finish under very pressured circumstances from the West Bromwich Albion defence. So 2 goals for Walcott very early on in the game. He had his chance and he really did take it. And then shortly on after that, it was a really good first half for us. I mean, goals after goals after goals. Wilshere with probably the pick of the bunch. I mean, like I say, there were so many good goals in this game, but if there's going to be one that you've got to pick out, it's either got to be this one or Walcott's first one. They were such beautiful goals. Gabriel, first of all, did very well to lay it off to Wilshere, but the way he struck it on a half volley so firmly, just placing it right into the corner of the goal, Myhill completely couldn't get to it. It was such a good goal from Wilshere. Again, a player that I'm really happy for, and also I was really happy to see us get at least 2 English players on the score sheet. It's something that maybe we wouldn't have seen a couple of seasons ago. But Wilshere, again, another player that took his chance. Arguably man of the match yesterday if it wasn't for Walcott getting his hat-trick in the game. Absolutely stand-up performance from both of those players. And like I've already mentioned, it was already a stand-up performance from the whole team. It was so good to see that. But we got our 4th through Theo Walcott yet again, and a move that was driven solely by Jack Wilshere. Great little 1-2s from him, driving at the West Brom defence, playing it to Santi Cazorla, who had a shot, I think it was, and Walcott comes in at the far post and tucks it in to complete his hat-trick and put Arsenal 4-0 to the good. Absolutely magnificent performance from Theo Walcott. Great work in this goal. I mean, the cohesion, the chemistry between the side was on display to a magnificent extent. And it was good to see Santi Cazorla getting a couple of assists in this game. He got 2 assists, and certainly, considering he's not been putting in the best performances, that's going to do him the world of good going into the final. And like I've already mentioned, it does really give Wenger a lot to think about. I mean, we didn't have Ramsey in the team yesterday. We had Chamberlain come on in the second half, and it's really hard to decipher who plays in the final. A lot of decisions have to be made. I think personally we should at least start Walcott in some capacity, whether he starts on the right hand side or whether he starts as a striker. Villa are a side that struggle with pace in behind the back line, and he's going to offer that. The positions he got in, the confidence that was brimming through him, you could see that he was really up for it yesterday. I think if he got a chance in the final, I have no doubts that he would take it. So I would love to see him start, possibly with Olivier Giroud up top, but it really is a tough decision to call. I mean, do we continue to play Santi Cazorla in that deep role, or do we play Wilshere there? How does Wilshere fit into this game if we play Walcott on the right, if we play Giroud up top? Do we play Ramsey? Do we drop Wilshere? Really hard decisions that have got to be made, and even Gabriel and Gibbs are making names for themselves because they put in good performances. So certainly every player is kind of warranting a start in this final, so it's a great scenario to be in. But hopefully we can put in a performance similarly to that one. Looking at the second half, not too much to report on. I mean, we did concede a sloppy goal, which we should have done. Lapse of concentration. It was a good header, I think, by Olsen to put it in the back of the net. Or Spina maybe could have done a little bit better. But at 4-0 up, it was, you know, we took our foot off the gas really, and maybe that was expected, but it shouldn't really have happened. It was a poor goal to concede. I would have expected us to deal with it better, but we shut the game from there on in. We saw Oxlade-Chamberlain introduced, we saw Ramsey introduced, Ramsey hitting the crossbar twice. Certainly another player that's probably going to merit a start in the final. It was great to see him come on and just really put in a performance that I think we would have expected from him last season. It was good, and every player took the opportunity they could in this game. Free-flowing, good style of football, and a typical end-of-season game from Arsenal, but really glad to see Chamberlain back. I think it's the big positive we can take from this game. He didn't do too much when he came on, but you could see the kind of player the player that's going to drive our defences, the player that's full of confidence, full of ability. I'm hoping that he'll be used in the final in some capacity. But anyway, guys, those have been my thoughts on the final game of the Premier League season. Leave your thoughts on the game in the comments box below. Subscribe to Arsenal Fan TV. Make sure to check out my own channel, A.F.C. Game by Game. I'll speak to you very, very soon, guys.
Arsenal Fan TV, don't forget Transfer Daily starts again next week. Every single day you want to get your transfer rundowns on Arsenal players, on players linked to a move to Arsenal. It's right here on Arsenal Fan TV. Lacazette.